For 6 years, my in-laws called me a gold digger living off their son, while I secretly bankrolled their failing restaurant with $1.2 million through an anonymous LLC. At our anniversary dinner, my mother-in-law announced to the entire dining room that I needed to get a real job instead of freeloading. My husband laughed along with them. That was when I pulled out my phone, called their business attorney, and watched their world fall apart. 30 seconds later, everything changed. My name is Olivia Grant, and this is the story of how I stopped being silent. I married Marcus Grant 7 years ago. We met in college, fell in love fast, and married young against his family's wishes. His mother Helen never approved of me. Not from our world, she would say. What does she even do? She just wants the Grant name. I worked from home as a financial consultant and investment manager, making over $300,000 a year. But to them, it was not a real job. Marcus worked as a mid-level manager making $80,000. But in their eyes, he was the provider and I was the freeloader. Every family gathering was torture. Backhanded compliments, exclusion, open mockery. His sister Diane was particularly cruel. "Must be nice not having to work," she would say. "How much are you taking from my brother this month?" Marcus never defended me. He would laugh it off and tell me not to be so sensitive. I endured it because I loved him. Or at least I thought I did. 6 years ago, their restaurant Grant's Kitchen was failing badly. Poor management, mounting debts, bankruptcy on the horizon. They tried to hide it, but I knew. I had just received an inheritance from my grandmother. $1.5 million. I made a decision that would change everything. I created an LLC called Phoenix Ventures through my attorney James and invested $1.2 million to save their restaurant. Structured it as a legal loan with 5% annual interest and clear repayment terms. The collateral was the restaurant itself. The family thought it was an angel investor who believed in their vision. Helen bragged constantly about our investor who saw our potential. The money stabilized everything. Renovations, debts covered, business thriving again. I never told Marcus or anyone. I wanted to see if kindness would change how they treated me. It did not. They got worse. More confident in their cruelty because the restaurant was successful again. Then came our 7-year anniversary. Marcus wanted to celebrate at Grant's Kitchen like always. The dinner started normally, but Helen began making her comments. "Olivia dear, when are you planning to contribute to the family?" "I have a career, Helen. I work from home." She laughed loudly. "Oh, that. I meant a real job. Something we can be proud of." Other diners were starting to notice. Diane joined in. "Honestly, it is embarrassing. Our brother works so hard and you just exist." Marcus chuckled. He did not defend me. Helen got louder, performing for the entire restaurant. "When are you going to get a real job instead of living off our son?" Diane added that I should be eating leftovers, not the good stuff. That is what freeloaders get. The whole restaurant was watching. Marcus was actually laughing with them. Something inside me snapped. 6 years of humiliation crystallized into perfect clarity. I stood slowly and pulled out my phone, dialed on speaker so everyone could hear. "James? Olivia here. Execute Order 68. My attorney asked if I was sure. "That is the nuclear option," he said. "Pull all Phoenix Ventures funding from Grant's Kitchen. I want payment in full within 30 days per the contract." Yes, in front of them. They are about to find out who the freeloader really is. Helen's face drained of color. "What is Phoenix Ventures?" I hung up and looked directly at her. "The LLC that saved you from bankruptcy 6 years ago. That was my $1.2 million, not some angel investor. You owe me $1.8 million with interest. 30 days or I seize everything. The building, equipment, brand, recipes. Your attorney will explain the contract you signed." The restaurant went silent. Robert stammered, "That was you?" "Every dollar," I said. "While you called me a gold digger, I was literally keeping your legacy alive." I looked at Marcus. "And you laughed." I walked out without looking back. That night, I went through financial documents preparing for legal proceedings. Then I found something in Marcus's desk drawer. Divorce papers. Partially filled out, dated 2 weeks ago. His signature already on them. Notes in the margins in Helen's handwriting about timing. They were planning to divorce me after using me. I stared at those papers and made a decision. I signed my portion right there, filed them through my attorney that same night. The divorce was processed before Marcus even knew what happened. I signed those divorce papers that night without telling him. Within 48 hours, our marriage was legally dissolved. Marcus had prepared them, planning to blindside me after the business was stable. He had no idea I would find them first, and he definitely had no idea that in 30 days, I would own everything his family had ever built. The real battle was about to begin. The next morning, my attorney James sent formal notice to Grant's kitchen. Full repayment demanded, $1.8 million in 30 days. The contract was airtight. My inheritance, my money, legal loan agreement. The Grant family went into complete panic mode. Marcus called me repeatedly. I did not answer. He showed up at the house, technically still his house too. Olivia, we need to talk. This is insane. That is my family's restaurant. I looked at him calmly. And it is my $1.8 million. You never told me you were Phoenix Ventures, he said. I met his eyes. You never defended me. For 6 years. He tried to minimize it like always. They were just joking. You are being too sensitive. I pulled out the papers from my bag. I found the divorce papers in your desk. Marcus froze completely. The ones you signed 2 weeks ago, with your mother's notes about timing. He stammered, trying to backtrack. That was not. We were not going to actually. I cut him off. I signed them too. We are divorced. Filed yesterday. It is done. His face went pale. You cannot just. We need to discuss. There is nothing to discuss, I said. You were planning to leave me anyway. I just did it first. Now get out. Helen and Robert tried to negotiate next, came to my office because I refused to meet at the restaurant. Helen tried charm first. Olivia dear, clearly there has been a misunderstanding. I did not let her finish. No misunderstanding. You called me a freeloader. In public, while living off my money. Robert jumped in. We did not know it was you. If we had known. That is exactly the problem, I said. You would have treated me differently only if you knew I had power. Helen's mask slipped fast. This is extortion. You cannot just take our restaurant. I leaned back. It is a legal contract. Your attorney confirmed it. You have 27 days left. They tried everything. Payment terms, extensions, begging. I was unmoved. Full payment, or I take ownership. Those are the terms you signed. Helen's voice went shrill. We do not have that kind of cash. The business does not generate that much. Then you will lose the business, I replied. Should have thought about that before the public humiliation. Diane tried to intervene via email, apologetic at first, then angry, then threatening. I blocked her. Then my attorney discovered something during divorce proceedings. Marcus had been complaining about me to his family for years. Emails calling me lazy, saying I did not contribute, claiming he supported me. He actively encouraged their treatment, told them I was sensitive and jealous of their family bond. The divorce papers were not just Helen's idea. Marcus initiated them. The plan was to divorce me, claim I contributed nothing financially, and take everything. His attorney had advised keeping the Phoenix Ventures information quiet to avoid splitting that asset. Marcus knew I had inheritance money, but not about Phoenix Ventures. He was planning to take the house, the savings, and leave me with nothing. I realized the man I loved never existed. Day 25, the Grant family tried to secure loans. All denied. Day 27, Helen showed up at my house crying. Please, this restaurant is our legacy, our family's name. I looked at her without emotion. You should have thought about legacy before destroying your son's marriage, she tried to bargain. I will apologize publicly. We will make amends. You will apologize because I have power now, I said. That is not real remorse. Day 28. Marcus tried one last time. Brought flowers. Tried to say we could work it out. I made mistakes, but we loved each other once. That has to mean something. It did mean something, I told him. Then you laughed while your sister said I should eat leftovers. His face fell. If you do this, my family loses everything. They should have thought of that 6 years ago, or 6 months ago, or 6 days ago. Day 30 arrived. No payment came. My attorney executed the contract terms. Ownership of Grant's Kitchen transferred to Phoenix Ventures LLC. Everything. Building, equipment, recipes, brand name. The Grant family was legally required to vacate. Sheriff's Department posted notice. Helen collapsed dramatically. Diane screamed threats and was escorted out. Robert just looked broken. Marcus stood outside watching his family's legacy be taken. He tried calling me one more time. I did not answer. The restaurant was mine now. Every table, every recipe, every brick. The Grant family had 30 days to remove their personal items and vacate. Marcus called me 47 times that week. I did not answer once. They had called me a freeloader for 6 years while I kept them afloat. Now they were about to learn what losing everything actually felt like. But I was not done yet. I took full ownership and renamed it Phoenix Kitchen. Kept the same location and concept but made it mine, hired a new management team and offered positions to the staff who always treated me with respect. Several admitted they always hated how the family treated me. The restaurant became even more successful under new leadership. Reviews mentioned new energy, feels welcoming now, less pretentious. I ran it through my team and occasionally visited. It was thriving without the Grant name attached. The Grant family faced complete financial ruin. Lost their income and their identity. Helen and Robert were forced to sell their house and downsize dramatically. Diane's lifestyle crumbled because she had been living off family money and connections. Marcus lost all credibility with his family. They blamed him for letting me do this. Helen actually told him he should have controlled his wife better. "We are divorced," he said. "She was always out of my control." The family fractured, fighting over the small amount of money they had left. Helen tried to start a new restaurant called The Real Grant's Kitchen. It failed immediately. No capital, no reputation. Word had gotten out about how they treated me. The community largely supported me because the anniversary dinner scene was witnessed by dozens of locals. 6 months later, Marcus contacted me asking to meet. I agreed in a public place of my choosing. He looked worn down and humbled. "I have lost everything," he said. "My family will not speak to me. I do not have the restaurant, do not have you." I listened quietly. "Is there any way we could try again?" I almost laughed. "You want me back now that you have nothing?" He insisted he realized what he had lost, that he was wrong. "You realize it now because you are facing consequences," I said. "Not because you actually changed." He begged. "Please, I will do anything. I still love you." I stood to leave. "You loved the idea of me being beneath you. You loved having your family's approval more than you loved me. That is not love, Marcus. That is convenience." He asked if I could at least forgive him. I paused. "Maybe someday. But forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It means I am letting go of what you did to me, not letting you back in." I walked away and did not look back. 3 years later, Phoenix Kitchen is thriving. I expanded to 2 more locations, turning it into a restaurant group worth over $5 million. The original location has a wall honoring silent supporters who believed in the concept from the beginning. My grandmother's photo is there. Mine is not. I do not need the recognition anymore. I know what I built. Helen still tries to contact me through intermediaries, asking to be involved in her family's legacy. I ignore those messages. It was never their legacy. It was their pride. And pride destroyed them. Marcus moved to another state, works a normal job, reportedly dating someone his mother approves of. I hope he is happy. I genuinely do. Because I finally am. I did not get revenge by destroying them. I got justice by refusing to save them. And sometimes, that is the same thing. Thanks for listening to the end. If you believe that respect should never be conditional and that the best response to betrayal is building something better, do not forget to like and subscribe for more stories of boundaries, justice, and taking back your power.